Good day, everybody. Welcome back to Clipfish Cards. Welcome to the island of the Misfit toys. I'm sorry, not Misfit toys, Misfit T201's. The T201 set was found in 1911 in Mecca cigarettes, Mecca cigarette packs. These are double folders. They actually flip over, and there's two players on each card. There's 50 cards in the set. This is one of the first pre-war sets that I completed back in the day. I inherited a bunch from my grandpaps, which started my quest to finish the set. And along the way, I've also accumulated a bunch of misfits. T201 cards are a little thinner than what you would really find in a T206, and they are kind of flimsier paper. And this is the way they came out of the packs, folded up. And you open them up, and you got player on the front, player on the back. When you fold it down, they share the same legs. This is issued in 1911, around the same time as the T205 gold borders. Gold borders have some stats on the back. I think this is also one of the first sets that actually put stats on the back of the cards. These cards are notoriously miscut. In me completing a T201 master set, which is all 50 cards with the factory 649. And on the back here is a little factory number. Most common is the factory 649's. And a little hard to find are the factory 30s. And there's two cards that are short prints in the set. The short prints are found with the factory 30 backs, and they are extremely hard to find. I was able to find a couple and complete my master set quest. And I saw a bunch of folks on YouTube putting together some miscuts, so I thought maybe I'd share some of these miscuts with you. I've got about probably 3/4 of the set with each of the cards that are miscut. I'll go through some of these raws up front here. You'll see you got Laporte and Stevens, and you could see there's a little sliver of another card there, which is another card completely different than the Laporte and Stevens card. You get a beautiful diamond cut here on the Gaspar and Clark. Obviously these were stacked up and then cut all together in large stacks, because it looks like the knife just kind of went sideways on this awesome miscut diamond cut. You got a little lesser of a diamond cut here on this Hall of Famer wheat. But you can tell it's got on the back, you got a little bit of a diamond cut, and then you also have portions of another wheat on the right side, indicating that there were several wheats next to each other on that sheet. I got a beautiful Lap and Barry. These are Philadelphia players from 1911. Another example of having the same player multiple times on the same row in the printing sheet, because obviously there's two laps right next to each other. You can see his catching mitt on left, and then another catching mitt just starting on the right there. This is a Lobert and Moore. Lobert Moore, this looks like it is an end sheet, probably on the right side of the printing sheet. We've got Titus and Doohan, another couple of Philly players. You can tell that there's a different card on the right, and I could probably match that up for you if I had a little more time. I would do that for you, but I'm going to kind of rip through these here. And look at the color on this Donovan. Boy, is that beautiful color. They do have some cool backgrounds on these T201's. This Donovan and Stroud from Detroit has a nice little diamond cut. I'll go on to some of the graded ones cards I have. I've got a Woodruff and Williams. You can kind of tell that the backs are miscut as well in the front. So this was another Woodruff and Williams right next to the first Woodruff and Williams. So these were probably had a whole line on the printing sheet of Woodruff and Williams. You can see Woodruff front Woodruff name here, and then a W just starting again for another Woodruff. This is one of the short prints from the Factory 30. If you can find it, good luck. Here's a Lord and Doherty. These are from Chicago, and a little bit of an edge sheet on the left here. So this was probably a left side of the sheet on the printing sheet. Kling and Nicole. This is the other short print in the Factory 30. So hard to find. This one is showing two subjects on the front here. You got the Kling on the left and a little bit of another player on the right there. Back is not as nearly miscut as the front is. We got Hall of Famer, Bender, Chief Bender, and Oldring. This one is interesting because it's actually a top miscut. I've very rarely seen the top miscuts, but this one has a top and a bottom miscut. A little bit on the right as well. And you can kind of see there's probably the top of the sheet or bottom sheet, depending upon which way they oriented when they cut the sheet. Same thing with Hall of Famer here, Mr. Johnny Evers, and Mr. Chance is on the back side there. And this is another example of an edge printing sheet. Likely there, just to the left of it, there was another Evers and Chance print on the print run. Here's a real cool one. Here's one that has almost like a quarter of a player, McCabe and Star. You see diamond cut on the back, and also there's almost two cards showing on this McCabe and Star. Got a Laporte and Stevens over here. This one also shows a different subject to the right of Mr. Laporte. And back not as significant, but still pretty cool. One of the real cool ones I have here is another two subjects on the front card. This is Foster and Ward. As well, it's miscut significantly in the back there. Ed Foster and Joe Ward. And let's come over to the left here. We got a Baker Downey. This one's showing a little bit of a left edge sheet, white, and you can see the same on the back. Baker and Downey, Kansas City players. Here's a big boy right here. This is a Matty. And Matty shares a card with Albert Bridwell, obviously from New York. This one also shares with another card, Hall of Famer card, the Miller Huggins card. You can see kind of right down there. If I had a Miller Huggins card handy, it would slide up right against that. But that's let's see. Yeah, nice looking Matty. You got Mr. Bender over here. This is an interesting card in that it was printed side by side. There was obviously benders all along and on the horizontal section of the sheet, because you can tell even though it's miscut, it's still showing the bleacher, the roof of the bleachers in the back there, starting here and starting there. So there was probably several benders on this on the horizontal position on the print sheet. Here's a cool diamond cut. This is McGinnity and McCarty. Mr. McGinnity, Hall of Famer Joe from Newark, New Jersey. Look at that awesome diamond cut. Still showing some awesome, beautiful colors on this card, but the diamond cut is fantastic. This one is a Mattern and Graham, George Graham, AA Mattern. These are from Boston players. Another one of those cards that shows that there were several of Matterns on the horizontal, because even though the card is miscut, it's showing the same subject side by side. Here's a beautiful diamond cut for Mr. McBride and Mr. Elberfield. Let's see. These were George McBride and Norman Elberfield, Washington. That's an awesome diamond cut. Same situation here. They were probably side by side on the sheet because you can tell from the miscut that there was another McBride next to it. Down to our big boy here. Although not a real dramatic miscut, it is a little bit miscut along the right edge, showing that the Crawford and Cobb were side by side printed, probably either one line or maybe even two or more, or maybe even a whole sheet, being such a popular player. The unfortunate part about this T201's is the Cobby's on the back on this. And I'll got some stats here lined up for Mr. Tyrus Cobb. Played in 140 games, batting 385 in 1910. And Mr. Crawford, let's see, he batted 289. So that's my beautiful Island of Misfit toys. The awesome T201 Mecha double folders. They are notorious for their miscuts, and hope you liked my miscut. If you do like what I've shown today, please hit the like button, please subscribe, and we shall see you on the next one. Clipfish out.